This is a much more complicated version of what we spoke about in the previous video. This is, of course, the Triangle Sum Theorem, involving not only the Triangle Sum Theorem, but also parallel lines cut by a transversal, vertical angles, supplementary angles, kind of bringing it all together in a much more complicated diagram. So your task right here is to find the measure of the angle all the way down here, measure of angle A. To do that, we can't just go ahead and jump down there immediately. We have to kind of build up to that using some of our knowledge. So anytime you see a complex picture, it might be a good idea to start filling in obvious things. These two angles right here, 45 and 45, they're vertical angles, so I'm going to fill in those. We know vertical angles are congruent. Angles that are supplements of each other, so this angle and 45 degrees, they add up to 180. Over here is also 135. They are vertical to each other. It just so happens that these are supplements of each other, these are supplements of each other, and these are supplements of each other as well. There's a lot of relationships going on right there. Same thing over here, 98 and 98, 98 and 82, 82, 48 and 48, 132, 132. Again, if that's a little confusing to you, if I'm going too fast, these two angles right here are supplementary angles. They're supplements of each other, which means they sum to 180. That's where I got those from. Next, let's jump over here to 85. So I'm going to go 85, 95, 80, and 95 as well. So those are the kind of the basics, right? Those are the easiest ones. Those are simple to calculate. Next, let's make a jump to our other cluster here, using the idea that parallel lines cut by a transversal. We've got ideas like corresponding angles. We talked about all these before. So 85 and 85, 95 and 95. You can also use your ideas of alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, consecutive interior angles, and so on and so forth. Now, a common mistake for a problem like this is to make the jump to these clusters down here. Can't do that because this line and this line, they're not parallel. So you're not able to jump from this group to this group. We'll get there in a second, but we can't do that right now. What we can do is jump from 98 over to here. They're corresponding. Vertical. And we fill in the rest. Alright, cool. So the parallel lines are done for a second. We'll come back to that in a moment. But next I want you to kind of look at this little shape right here. You can recognize what that is, right? That's a triangle. Triangles have angles that always add to 180. So if your job is to figure out this little missing angle right in here, then all you really need to do is do a little bit of a triangle sum theorem, a tiny little one. We're going to go 82 plus 48 plus x equals 180. So that's, let's see, 120, 130. So this guy right in here is 180 minus 130, which is 50. This is 50 as well. This is 130. This is 130. All right. So there's our first triangle sum theorem. Now you got to kind of look at the big picture, right? Our goal is to get down here to angle A. We can't get there yet. So I want you to, whenever you're stuck, I want you to kind of take a step back and see if you can see familiar shapes if you look at the big picture right here. What I just highlighted is obviously a triangle. The interior angles of every triangle add up to 180. So we have 45 in this corner, 50 in this corner, and we're missing that corner. So we do another little triangle sum theorem. So we go 45 plus 50 plus this angle equals 180. So let's see, that's 95 plus x equals 180. So x right in this corner is 85. Jump. Parallel lines will jump us there. 95 will jump us there. So now we're ready to finally make our our last push towards angle A. And again, I want you to look at the shapes that make up this figure. Right? We have another triangle right there. Those angles inside the green triangle add up to 180. So we'll do another little triangle. Let's call this maybe angle question mark. We'll go 95 plus 48 plus question mark equals 180. That's 130 plus another 13, 143 plus question mark equals 180. So question mark has to equal, let's see, 37. So right in here is 37 degrees, which means the angle that's right next to it, angle A, is the supplement of that. So finally, after all that, we have 143. So the measure of angle A is 143. Those two angles, of course, add up to 180 because they are a straight line right there. So in that problem we utilized and implemented strategies of triangle sum theorem, parallel lines cut by transversal, supplementary angles, and vertical angles.